Hi everyone, this is Chris Brazel. Welcome to my world, and today it's about unlocking the brain. And the way I unlock people's brains is I work on their brain code, and then I give them mind, body and environment exercises so they can take action and go to where they want to go. So my person we're working with today is Shane Warne. It's really sad that he did pass away earlier on the 4th of March, but if you look at his codes, you'll be very interested, and it really feels like he's upstairs looking down on us to say, come on you guys, let's get some of this coding system out there so you can unlock your brains. And it really felt like he'd given me permission to actually go do it. So before I start, I do send condolences to the family, and I send them peace and love, and this is only being done that I can in some way help a lot of other people who might be out there who are not having life go the way they should go. And I think that's what it feels like, because I think deep down Shane Warne is quite a really great guy, and the coincidences of his life right through to his death are so amazing. I think you can learn so much from it. But the main energy I would love to teach you is we can unlock our lives. We can unlock where we want to go. We're the ones who put us in different situations. So when we get to train our brain and unlock our brain, then we can get ourselves out. So shall we have a look at him and see what happens? So he was born Shane Keith Warne, and that's normally where some of the energy that blocks you or unblocks you can start. So he was born on the 13th of the 9th, 1969. So normally when you're born on the 13th, what you think is going to happen doesn't always happen. So like he thought he was going down football, and then he ended up in cricket, and quite a well-known cricketer at that. The first thing you look at when you've got the date of birth and the person is, are they carrying a birth emotion? And yes, he was. He was carrying a 54-9 birth emotion there. And even when you just went to his name, Shane Warne, again, he was looking for his identity. So when someone carries a birth emotion, they're kind of out there looking for, what is my real identity? Who am I really on the planet? What is my job here while I'm actually here? It's interesting, when you went to Warnie, which is what his mates used to call him, he immediately links into his 2 energy, with is his force number over here. The force number is what pushes you through the door at the end of the day. So the guy's got him. And that's interesting because most of his numbers are all to do with females. It's a lot of female energy. And the main female energy where it comes through is in his destiny number, which is loss and deception. And it has a link where you learn consistently, lessons in love, lessons in partnership, and it always hits from left side. And that's what I feel he's there at the moment. He's up there looking down to say, okay, I made a few little blunders, but gee whiz, we don't have to go through heartache and headache if we learn from each other. So let's go back. So we know when he was called Warning, he was spot on. So if we look at it, he died, his natural code is a 13-4, his unblocking code is a 69, which is 15-6, and even his lucky code is a 4. All of that deals with the heart, and this year being 2022, the unblocking code for this year is 22, which is a 4, which connects to him. And the whole year is a 6 about rebuilding, which connects to him, is his unblocking code up there. It's also interesting, he died in Thailand, which is a 6 energy. And when you take the country and the town where he died, it comes to a 7 energy, which is his path. And the path is the people you meet and the education you have at the end of the day. So this year being 6, one of the warnings is for men out there is some of the conditions that are going to come up are heart, stroke, those areas that you need to really look at. For women, it's going to be more about breast cancer, but also heart, strokes, and heart problems. So guys, I think Shane's up there saying, hey guys, get to the doctor, do what you need to do, go on a diet, exercise. And that's, sometimes it's really lovely when you can learn from other people's mistakes where you can go. So let's get back. So he died on the 4th of the 3rd, 2022. The day was a 4, but the force code of that day was a 13 energy. He died overseas. 13 energy people always connect to overseas, so it makes sense why he didn't die in Australia. It was actually overseas. When we go to his cricket career, He had 7 matches. So his path number is a 25-7. He died at the age of 52, which is the reverse of 25. Now, that was his path number. So the path number is the people you meet and the education you have at the end of the day. So when he died, he was the age 52, which is the reverse of his path number. When he was known as a leg spin bowler, that's 52-7, which is his path number. He died then, we know that. The energy of cricket is 22. His force number is a 2 energy, so it was where he was in the field he should have been. He had 7 matches in the Shield before he went into representing Australia and the bigger scene. His debut was in 1991, which is a 20, which was his force number. What's going to force him through the door to where he needs to go? He did 34 wickets in the Ashes in 1993. That wasn't 35, 36, it was 34. So you can't argue about it being a 7. In 1963, it was a 22-4. His natural code was a 4, his lucky code was a 4, and the year he did the Ashes with 34 wickets was again straight back to his codes. So do you say it's coincidence? What do you actually put it down to? Or do we actually have a map of our codes? And once you learn to read your codes, you can make sure you're on the right path at the right time. So he averaged at those 34 wickets in the Ashes in 1993, he averaged a 25-79. 25 is his 52-7, 79 is the 16-7. So again, we stay in that whole 7 energy where it comes along. So everything around Shane was along that same line. Now, when he did have a problem and he was banned for 12 months, it was because of a diuretic, which was from his mum. But you look at it, it was in February. February is a 2 energy. His force number is 2. What forces him through the door? It was a 2003. And when you take the month and the year, February in 2003, it's a 7 energy, which comes back to his path number over here, the education he has, the people he meets, etc. So when we go back through his past, he got along great with the guys. He knew what he was doing. And as a cricketer, it was a focus. He knew, he practiced, he was actually perfect. He was solution driven as well. So when he would go and practice that bowling, he knew where his mind, he used wisdom, he used knowledge, and he practiced something so he got perfection at it. Where he had a little bit of problems or, you know, I don't know what you call it, let's just skip it, is where it was with women's and relationship. But that's where his destiny, it was actually in his destiny that there would be loss and deception. There would be learning lessons in love, learning lessons in partnership. And all of these energies connect to the female energy. So when we go to the female side of everything, then that's where we've had this roller coaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. But when we went to the cricket side, that was where he found balance. That's where he knew where he was. When he was a leg spin bowler, he knew who he was, where he put his knowledge and expertise. So it makes sense. The other thing is, I don't believe he did take, you know, this diuretic in February, but it was to get rid of fluid. What's fluid? Water, which connects to his 7 energy there again. He died in his first year of where he was going to be for the next 9 years. He died in March. If you look at some of his jumpers, like he would have the 3 energy on his jumpers, which March is the 3 energy. But he died on the 4th, but his personal energy or time energy was also the fact that he was in a 4 energy. So he was in his first year and in a 3rd month, which is the force energy, which was his lucky code and his natural code. And I think he knew that, and that's what happens, whether it was with cancers or heart attacks or something, your brain knows, but also the map is already mapped out in front of you. We don't have to go through so much hassles and fear and fright, because once you get to read your coding system, you already know what's going on, what's happening, and you can just pull yourself into that alignment. So I believe he was over there with 3 friends. So again, you've got that 3 energy happening. But the most interesting thing, it was in Thailand, the 6, which I'm blocking. And when you do the town in Thailand, it comes to 7, which was his path number. So This is me out. So unlock your brain. If you're out there and you're struggling because you've got a bolt on the door and you're not letting in all the great things you can have in life. I feel as if Shane's up there chatting to me quiet, and I really felt his spirit when he actually died. I was driving to the Gold Coast and it felt like he was in the car. I could feel his spirit. And normally I'm pretty conscious about who I do code, but it was like he was up there. Come on, Chris, come on down and code me so we can save a lot of other lives further down the track. And this is what his energy here is. And that's where I saw the spiritual messenger come through. So he is up there, he is looking down, and the two energies being very involved with the welfare of the community. And I'm sure if he knew he could save some guys' lives out there, go get your blood pressure checked, go get your heart checked, go on a diet, and give up drinking if you don't really need it. And that's where he did get. So 7 energy codes with the energy that he has here. Often he created a pattern with the alcohol, and that's where he found it hard to actually break from. And that's when he had a pattern with women. The pattern was there and he found it hard to actually break from. But when you were at cricket, you had a starting point and a finishing point. So he knew when something was starting and when it was finishing. So this is me out. Enjoy. I've got a great new book coming up, Unlocking Your Brain, so get ready for it. Otherwise, if you're out there and you feel locked, check your codes and let's move you forward. Cheers for now.